everybody, Pastor Warren here. Welcome to another edition of Mondays Are for the Dogs. We're at Fox Marina down the Fox River, and boy, is it a windy, blustery day. Wind's coming out of the north, and luckily the wind was at our back coming down here, but on the way back we're going to be striving against the wind and kind of wrestling with the wind going back, but hopefully we found a place where it's not so windy where you can hear me pretty good. But all that wrestling against the wind reminded me of how Jacob wrestled with God as he was at the river Jabbok. And we're not at the river Jabbok, we're at the river of the Fox. But anyway, just thinking, sometimes we really struggle and wrestle with things in our lives. And, who are we wrestling with? Are we wrestling with ourselves, with our minds? All that kind of this life brings to us causes us struggle and time to wrestle. And maybe you've wrestled with God in a way, wondering about your future, wondering about your present, or even maybe your past, and just trying to kind of figure things out. And sometimes it's okay, just as Jacob did, to wrestle with God. And it turns out that they wrestled all night long, and maybe you could relate. Maybe you stayed up many a night wrestling in your mind over certain matters, and you've talked it out with God, and you just don't come out, ahead of things. But here with Jacob, he kept asking God what his name was, and finally he just kind of said, you basically know my name, you know who I am. But turns out that Jacob was prevailing over God, winning the wrestling match. But God, all he had to do was just touch him on the hip and kind of put his hip out of socket to remind him how powerful God was. And maybe God just kind of let him feel like he was, winning the wrestling match. But he must have striven with God long enough where God gave him a new name, called him Israel. And that means that he has striven with God. And speaking of names and knowing that Jacob was wrestling with God, Jacob called the place where he wrestled with him at the wrestling match Peniel, which means the face of God. So sometimes I think this is just a good example that it's okay to wrestle with God, even though you might not come out the winner. And that's not what it's about. It's about taking all the things that you're struggling with, you're striving against, and bringing it to God, and he will kind of help you through the other side. Well, that was the case for Jacob. He was really struggling with meeting his brother Esau, who couldn't stand him and wanted to kill him. But through this wrestling match overnight, Jacob mustered up the strength and the resources to meet his brother. And as you know, that meeting was a wonderful reunion, one where they gave a wonderful brotherly hug and put all the things behind him. And so all that striving with God that Jacob did helped him meet his greatest foe, his brother Esau. And so God blessed that union. And so maybe as you strive with God, God will bless you as you come out of that. And you'll have a wonderful time just moving forward in life. So anyway, we've been blessed with no wind. This is really wonderful. And so we hope that you have a blessed day in the Lord, and we'll see you farther down the trail. God bless your day.
Okay, see you later.